What you are looking at is the most perfect cookie in the world. It's called a jammer. Hi everyone, it's Stephen here for Bland Designs, and this is Sunday, June the 18th, 2017, and this is vlog number 23. Now you might be wondering why I'm doing my vlog one day earlier than I usually do, because I usually do my vlogs on Mondays. Well, the reason being is tomorrow my day is taken up taking my mother to her eye doctor appointment, and that's at about 11 o'clock in the morning, and she doesn't live in the same town as me, and so it takes me 25 minutes to get to her place, and then it's going to take me another half hour to get to where the eye doctor is. Then they never run on time, so we'll be sitting around there, and then by the time we get out of there we'll probably have to do lunch, and then I'll have to take her home, and there's the day gone shot. Okay, so I'm doing it today, Sunday morning. So, you notice my teaser. I showed you the world's most perfect cookie. Here it is. I have not eaten it yet. This is what is called, or what I called it as a kid, a jam. It's actually called, in the bakery where I picked this up, jammer. And what it is 2 oatmeal cookies that sandwich raspberry jam in between. It is the most perfect cookie. And what makes them even better is you have to eat them by dunking them in a cold glass of milk. It's messy, it's delicious, and there must be about 3,000 calories in one of these suckers. And at my age, you just looking at this cookie puts on 5 pounds, okay? I have no metabolism left, but it's good. Now, I restrained myself at the bakery. It's a little place north of us called Port Perry. Has this great little bakery called Hank's, and they make them there. And we went up there yesterday, Saturday, and I've actually got a very short video clip of what Port Perry looks like. It's a very cute little town, so you'll see that later on in the vlog today. And I went in, and I was going to buy a dozen, but I held back, and I only bought 6. Of course, I also saw date turnovers, and they're another one of my favorite food groups, so I ended up buying 6 of those as well. And Walter doesn't care for either one of these kind of things, so they're all mine. So next week when you see this video, I'll be filling the whole screen, because my face, everything will 200 pounds, right? Okay, so enough about my obsession, my little cookie sitting over here, and I can't wait to get at it. So, what's been up this week? Guess what? You'll never guess what I've been doing this week. No, take a guess. 3 guesses. First 4 don't count. Acrylic pouring. Yes, I am on a quest to find those elusive cells. Now, I've made another couple of videos about acrylic pouring, my experiments, and you'll see the results. Actually, one of the experiments, just let me grab one of the canvases. This one turned out okay, and I did get some cells, but not a lot of cells. But I like the colors in it. This one, I used alcohol in the mixture. And, well, it came out okay. I like it, but yeah, I'm still not getting the cells. And then I saw a YouTube video where somebody was mixing up glazes, making acrylic glazes, and what that is, and I've got a video about how to do this, it's just basically taking paint and mixing it with a glazing medium, and it makes the paint transparent, and you can put it on things like a wash, and other colors or whatever underneath it will come up through it so you can see it. It's kind of a neat technique. I've done glazes before in my art journal. So this particular video was doing it with the jelly plates, doing monoprinting with it. I thought, wonder if I could do an acrylic pour with glazes. So I tried it, and this is the end result. Very different. I wasn't looking for cells with this because I'm pretty sure I wasn't going to get cells. It's sparkly because I added in a little glitter, and I've got a whole video about doing this. This took a while to dry, and it's just a different technique. It was kind of fun. It reminds me of galaxy paintings. But anyways, still not getting those elusive cells. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I create it for myself. If you've watched those acrylic pouring videos, you know that I put plastic cups underneath my canvas to hold it up so the paint can drip down. And I thought, you know, I'm going through a lot of plastic cups, and although I buy them at the dollar store, nevertheless, they're kind of going into landfill and things like that. So I thought I'd make a more reusable solution for this. So I created this little stand. And this is just slightly smaller than an 8x10 canvas. And so it hangs over the edges and it works like a charm. So I also made one for a 6x6 canvas, but I changed the footing on it. I thought, well, I was lucky with that one. I got the pieces of, this is very heavy duty cardboard, I got them to work very well with this and level. I made a 6x6 one and it wasn't as level, and I did it with that one piece that I used the acrylic glazes, and it got onto the surface and it dried on it, and basically I had to wreck the little pedestal I had built in order to get the painting off of it. And so what I've done now is I've covered both of these with freezer paper, because you'll know that the acrylic paint, once it dries, peels right off freezer paper. So I put those on, and on this one I got looking around through junk drawers and I found some old spice bottles that had been sitting there, so I used E6000, glued it to the bottom, and now it's a pedestal for that. So these are working out pretty good with all that, so I'm pleased with that, my little invention. Well, let's see, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the cells. Alright, now this is where you can help me out. Does anybody know where in Canada, either at a store, preferably a chain store that is readily available across Canada, or online, where I can buy Floetrol? It's called Flood Floetrol, F-L-O-E. Let me try that again. F-L-O-E-T-R-O-L. I know that Deluxe Paints manufactures it, and we have several Deluxe Paint stores out here, but they don't have it in stock. Online, Home Hardware supposed to stock it, and they say you can order it online from them and they'll deliver it to your local store. Well, I phoned this morning and she checked her computer and she says, no, we don't have any in the warehouse, so I can't get it that way. I found it on Amazon.ca and it was a reasonable price with free shipping, so I ordered it. Said it was going to come about the middle of July, but I figured at this point I'm desperate for it. Now I just got a notice from them yesterday, from Amazon, saying that the supplier has not bothered to send them any information about the shipping details, therefore they haven't charged my credit card, and suggested that I contact the supplier myself. So I've given them 2 days to get back to me, because I figure after that, if they're not going to write me any message, then the order, I'll go back through Amazon and cancel the order. They haven't charged my credit card anyways. So in the meantime, I'm on the search for this stuff. Now I'm going to phone a couple of the paint stores that supposedly have it, but I've tried them before and they don't have it, to see if they can actually order it from their head office in for me, and whatever that's going to cost. But if anybody knows where I can get Floetrol, I mean, in the States it seems to be no problem. They go everywhere. They go to Rona, they go to Lowe's, they go to Home Depot. I've tried all those avenues. I can't get it. So I don't know. But anyways, I'll continue on with my experiments, as you'll see, with other products, and see if I can get some cells. I'll tell you this, the day that I figure out how to get cells that are half decent, there's going to be a worldwide announcement from me about that. Okay, what else have I been doing? I showed you all of those. Oh, let me get up and get it for you. Remember that I told you that I was making an acrylic pour and I showed you it was going to become the invitations for a party for a friend of mine, and that I was going to give as a gift a frame version of that canvas? Well, I went to Curry's and I got a frame, and this is now, I'll move back a bit, this is what it looks like framed. I think it turned out pretty good. One thing though that kind of bugged me was, you see on the back of this there's these clips. I had to buy those separately at Curry's. I mean, they were pennies, they didn't cost much. But the kicker was, they didn't have any screws for them. they had changed suppliers or something. And so the guy says, you can just go to the hardware store and pick up 3/8 of an inch wood screws. Yeah, you would think that would be easy, wouldn't you? Went to Canadian Tire? No. They had 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, but no 3/8 of an inch. And you need them to be about that size because this isn't really all that thick. You don't want them to go in too deep. And finally, I got some at, where did I get them? Home Depot, I think. Yeah. And then I got them home, and they've got a tiny, tiny little head on them. I didn't have a screwdriver. I couldn't find a screwdriver around here that was that small. Actually, long story short, I eventually did find a screwdriver that worked, and so I was able to do it. But why is it the simplest things are always the most complicated? Let me put this away. You know? So, anyways. All right, let's move on. Or I'll start in what's pissing me off, and I've already got a segment for that today. So, let's check out YouTube channel of the week. It's called Sea Lemon. This week's YouTube channel is one called Sea Lemon. That's SEALEMON. And this is a real collection of all kinds of DIY kind of projects. There's everything from painting, scrapbooking, to bookbinding, to making toys for kids. This is a really rich site for a lot of great ideas. I go to this all the time when I want to figure out how to make something new. I learned actually how to bind books from this site as well. So I really recommend it. The videos are very professionally done. The young lady who makes these, she's been doing this I think for quite a while, and so she's got quite a library of useful information. So I suggest you check it out. It's very inspiring. Okay, so that's a really great website, and lots and lots of ideas. I've found her very helpful over the actually years. I've discovered her a long time ago. Now, speaking of YouTube channels, every week I talk about a YouTube channel that I like. I'm starting to run out of YouTube channels. Actually, I'm kind of searching for some new YouTube channels that, that might give me some more inspiration. I'm checking out a few different sites right now, but if you have a YouTube channel that you really like, besides mine, okay, modesty here, not, but if you've got some YouTube channels you really like, can you send me the name of the YouTube channel or the URL for it, and I'll check it out and I can review it here on my weekly vlog. Okay, so what's pissed me off this week? Pisses off everybody, I'm sure. Telemarketers. Okay? Now, I may have bitched about this some time ago, but it's worth bitching about again because seems like in this last week I've been inundated with a lot more of them for some reason. I don't know, is this telemarketer month or something like that? The ones that get my goat, really, and I get usually on average 2 to 3 of these a week. Hello, is this Mr. Glenn? I have something, we want to clean your ducts. Okay, I'm sorry about the bad accent, but they piss me off because I can never understand them, for one thing. I am sure that they are telemarketers from India, offshore somewhere. Yeah, they got to make a living, I feel sorry for them that this is what they have to do for a living because I'm sure a lot of people are not really too polite to them. And I'm one of those people. I just hang up now. I mean, I tried to be funny a few times, like, oh, you want to clean my ducks? Oh, you're a little late. My ducks have all flown south for the winter. But how are you with goats? Okay, well, they don't get the joke. I even strung one guy on for a while, and because I said, yes, I'm so glad you called. I want my ducks cleaned. Yes, most definitely. So what are the details? Oh, okay, sir. How many rooms do you have in your house? And I said 4,000. Okay, and how many vents? Okay, I thought he'd get it the first time. And I went, oh, 500,000? And it went on from there, and he still wasn't getting it. He was being persistent. So I finally just said, goodbye, and hung up. Anyways, those ones drive me nuts. The other ones that drive me nuts are the charities that call you looking for household items and used clothing. Now, I've got nothing against giving to them. In fact, I do it all the time. You know, when I cleaned out my craft room, I donated a lot of stuff to Value Village, which supports a variety of different charities. But why do I get 3 calls a week, all asking for the same thing? Do you have any clothing or houseware items you care to donate? But they're all 3 different charities, and they call me every week. The same ones. Okay, I get it. I say to them, well, I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you this month. But then I get a call the next day again. Like, my wardrobe hasn't changed in one day. In fact, I don't buy a lot of clothes on a regular basis because I'm kind of cheap, and, well, there would be a rant just all on its own right there to talk about men's fashions. You know, how they are geared towards the 20-something crowd, not for the upper 50s, early 60s crowd. But yeah, that's a good rant. I might do that one next week. Anyways, they keep calling me. Now, I'm not rude to those callers because, you know, that it's a good cause. But I always say the same thing. I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you this week. Thanks for your call. But I'm getting sick and tired of the number of calls. And then let's talk about all the other scams that are out there. I especially love the ones that are recording, telling me that, oh, we have a special deal for you because you're such a good credit user that we can offer you 0%, blah, blah, blah. Call this number. Or then there's the one saying, we've examined your credit history, and something about that makes it sound like you're going to go into the poorhouse or something like that. No. I never carry a balance on my credit cards. Nope. As soon as I use the credit card for buying stuff online or things like that and immediately pay it off. Nope, I do not have any outstanding debts. But I get those calls, and those are annoying as hell too. And not only that, but they usually always call just when we're sitting down for dinner. Yes, I know, they plan it that way because they know you'll probably be home. But some of them now are coming at 9 o'clock at night, 9:30 at night. Okay, I know a lot of people stay up late. Walter does. I don't. I go to bed around 9 o'clock, read for a while, and go to sleep. I've just always been that kind of person. But come on. You're invading people's privacy at that time, their family time, their dinner time, their, relaxing time for this kind of thing. It's annoying. It's so bad, and of course, when it comes up on our phone, on our landline, it just comes up with a number. It doesn't come up as unknown caller because unknown callers are blocked off my phone because we have call ID. But so they're smart. They know how to get around that. A number actually comes up, but it's a number you've never seen before. And, sometimes I try to ignore it. I figure if it's that important, it'll go to voicemail and they'll leave a message. But sometimes, I've got an aging mother that I look after, and you don't know. Maybe it's an emergency and I don't want to miss the call. So, anyways, that's what's pissing me off, and I really wish our government would take more control over this kind of thing. I think the government should get involved with this, make some kind of laws that regulate telemarketers, like the hours of when they can call, how frequently they can call. It should have to come up on your phone with who they are calling from, what the company is, or whatever. I don't know. But I think it would save us a lot of problems. So anyways, that's what's pissing me off this week. So what are we going to talk about next? Well, let's talk about some resources. You've probably heard of this company before, Stampington. Get the glare off. They have a whole series of different types of magazines, and I love these magazines. This is the Somerset Studio Gallery that comes out, I think, 4 times a year each season, with pages and pages and pages of great inspiration. So I love these, and I'll go through them, and I'll mark the pages that I like, and sometimes I'll photocopy them, keep them in a folder, because I used to cut them out of the magazines, but I love the magazine itself. It's nice glossy pages, and it's nicely bound in the whole bit. They have one called Apprentice, which I think comes out a couple of times a year, which is really for people just getting into mixed media. They have Somerset Studio, This is the gallery, but then they have one just called Somerset Studio, which comes out, I think, every other month, and it's full of all kinds of mixed media ideas and things. I really like these magazines. They're great. They have, you can go to their website and buy some of their products that they have. They have CDs with graphic images on them. They have rubber stamps and things like that too. They are not a scrapbooking art store. They're just sort of everything. And they even have magazines on for women that they call Women Create or something like that. And all kinds of different things. So they're kind of on the pricey side. In Canada, what's it say? $16.99. In the States, $14.99. You know, it's a little bit pricey, but they're worth the investment for the inspiration they give me. So I really like those. So what else? Well, I saw this when I was watching in January the videos on YouTube from CHA, and there's this product, and it's called the Caterpillar Pro. Now, I think the company that makes these is located in the UK, from what I can figure out. They have a series of things called Caterpillars, and it's Cutter, not Catter. It's Cutter, Cuttpillar, and they have different paper trimmers. But what this is, it's a glass, or what do you call it? It's a light board. It's very thin, very flat, good size. It comes with a self-healing mat and a glass mat that fit over top of it. It looks fantastic. Now, when I first saw it, I thought I wouldn't have any use for this. But it's just been released. Apparently, you can get it in the States now, according to Ken's Creations, you can. I've looked for it on Amazon.ca and on Amazon.com as well. I can't find them on there yet, but I think it was just released last Friday. So I'll wait for a while, and eventually it'll probably show up on Amazon or whatever, and I might be able to order one. It's not cheap. In the States, I think it runs around $120 or something, but you know here in Canada it's going to run close to $200 in our money, and that. But I think it's a really neat gadget, and I'm all about gadgets and toys. I love art for the gadgets. But I think I could get some use out of it. I'm thinking it might be very helpful when I'm making my videos as well, because it's backlit. It might make certain things that I do easier to see. I don't know. So I'm waiting until I can find a place where I can get it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I mentioned that we went to this place called Port Perry. It's where I got my jammers and my date turnovers. And when we were up there as well, there's a used bookstore that I really, really love, because they've got some really old books. And of course, I don't read books anymore, like not in paper form. I read all the time, but I read ebooks. I find that more convenient because the book's always with me, because I can read it from my Kobo, or when I'm out and about, like when I take my mother to the eye doctor this week and I'm sitting there waiting for her to get called in. It's linked to my phone. I can read it off my phone. So that's what I like about ebooks. But this bookstore, what I like about it is they have a lot of old books that I go up, look through, and think about destroying them. Yes, I love to destroy books, which is kind of ironic because I've always been a book lover. That's why I was an English teacher, that kind of thing. But now I love them for a new reason. I like to destroy them, so I have material for mixed media. So I'm always looking for neat images, diagrams, things like that, and I found this big book. Cost me $10. And it's called, I don't know, Roloff Benny in Canada. I have no idea who Roloff Benny is. But inside, besides the color of the pages, these are cool. I mean, the pages, the yellow color of them, but there are, it's hard to hold this thing up. I'm trying to find a page here, but you got images like this, shots from around Canada. You know, most of them are in black and white. Well, I think they're all in black and white, but these are going to make great backgrounds or focal images for art journal pages. Also, I found a book about Picasso. And the beauty about this book is it's all color plates. So I'll cut the spine off this book and separate these out, and I'll put these in a file or something. But look at them. They're great. They're going to make great focal images on pages, in art journal pages. So, and really, now this one was a little bit more expensive. It was $16. But at this particular bookstore, if you buy one book at regular price, you get the other book for 50% off. So for those two books, it cost me $21, I think, when you figure in tax on it. Not bad, because I'm going to get a lot of stuff out of those two books when I destroy them. So that was up in Port Perry. So I'm going to, also after we were in Port Perry, we've been experimenting with different foods, and Walter on Friday night made this Moroccan chicken. And as he's making it, it called for cumin, and we usually have cumin because, as you know, I love Indian food, so cumin is one of the basic spices for Indian food. We were out. Go figure. We thought we had some in supply, in storage, but no, out. So we needed that. Plus, there's another recipe he wants to try, and it calls for smoked paprika. So in the grocery stores, some of these things you don't really get as readily, but we have something up here in Canada, and I don't know, I think they're across the states too, called the Bulk Barn, which basically has all kinds of your cooking, baking needs, plus candy. Candy is important. That you can get, and of course it's a lot cheaper because you buy what you want, and you're not paying for a lot of packaging because you're slopping it into a plastic bag and then taking home, putting it in your own containers. So after we went to Port Perry, we went off to the Bulk Barn, and we bought some spices, and I bought some jubjubes and some Turkish Delight. Now Turkish Delight is something, again, sort of from my childhood. My grandmother used to get it. The Turkish Delight that's around today is nowhere near as good as it used to be. They make the Turkish Delight now out of basically Jell-O, whereas real Turkish Delight is made from rose water. And even in Turkey, the Turkish Delight sucks. Because I've been to Turkey, and I bought Turkish Delight, and no, it's no better than the stuff we get here. But anyways, the Bulk Barn sells some of it, and I thought I'll just buy, a few pieces of it to try, because I had a feeling it's not going to be what I remember as a kid. Of course, nothing is the way I remembered as a kid. Oh my God, I've just become my father. I remember when never mind. So I got it home, tried it. Yeah, no. It isn't Turkish Delight. It's just flavored Jell-O with powdered sugar on it. So anyways, I'm going to insert here this quick little clip of Port Perry and the Bulk Barn adventure. See you in a bit. It's a little community that's north of where we live called Port Perry. It's very picturesque, and everybody comes here all the time. There's a lot of neat little shops downtown and whatnot. Very touristy kind of a thing. We just had lunch at the Gadget Arms, which is a little local pub, and you can see down here those streets. Today there's something going on. We didn't realize that, so parking was a bit of a problem. But now we're just wandering down the main street, and there's a bakery I want to go to, and into a bookstore. So this gives you a little better idea of what the downtown of Port Perry looks like. Kind of Victorian style. And everybody comes here. No bargains to be had. It's all the same. There's Walter standing on the street. Say hello. Walter says hello. So I'll give you a little idea. It's a cute little place to spend like 10 minutes. So another reason we come up to Port Perry is for this place. This is a used bookstore, and I get a lot of my materials for my mixed media from here because they've got some really great old books. So after we got home from Port Perry and got rid of a few things we bought there, we're off to an exciting place called the Bulk Barn. And if you don't know what the Bulk Barn is, it's where you buy everything in bulk. And we need some spices. Walter last night made this Moroccan dish that called for cumin, and lo and behold, we usually have cumin, but we were out, so he substituted something else, and that was fine. But a few other spices that we're out of, and so, spices, you spend a lot for the packaging on them, so a Bulk Barn, no packaging. Plus, you buy those in the grocery store, and you don't know how long they've been sitting on the shelf, and you sit in our shelf for a long time, and they just eventually go stale. So we're off to get some cumin, and we need some smoked paprika, you said? Mm-hmm. And whatever other goodies that are there. The danger with going to the bulk barn, though, is that they also have bulk candy. Lots of chocolate and things like that. But I just bought my jammers and my date turnovers up in Port Perry. You saw those in the teaser. So no more candy today. Don't really need it. So anyways, it's raining now, and this is a little area not far from our house. We're going through the subdivision, and for those of you that don't live in Canada or Ontario, you're getting a chance to see what our living environment is like. I like seeing people's videos where they show where they live, because every place is a little different. So anyways, it'd be nice if the weather was a little nicer today. Oh well, such is life in Canada. We are at the bulk barn. As you can see, it is neither a barn, well, neither a bulk. Well, no, that doesn't work. But anyways, it's not a barn. So, Excitement City here. And this is what the bulk barn looks like. Rows and upon rows of all kinds of good things. And this is the spice aisle. So you can see all of the different spices here. And so we're looking for cumin and smoked paprika. So, what do we have? Onion powder, oregano, smoked paprika. Oh, there we go. So we can get it. So you get one of these little bags, and then you put the number on it, and they know what it is when you get up to the top, or to the checkout. Now, cumin. Where's the cumin? They're in alphabetical order. So, C-U.
I don't see it. Must
be down here somewhere. Cumin seed, ground. Yep, there it is right there. So, everything that you want. And they've got jubes on sale. So, I hope you like seeing these videos I've been lately inserting in here that show you my area, where I've been and whatnot. If you do like them, just write me a little comment, let me know, because I enjoy watching other people's vlogs where they show, what they've been doing in the week, but take you there as well. I got the idea from basically Mike Deacon and Julie Fafe-Balzer, because they do that in their vlogs, and I enjoy seeing where they live and the things they go to and whatnot. So if you like this, let me know, because I'll put maybe a few more in as well. Of course, it makes my vlogs a little bit longer, and these little vlogs that were going to be about 10 minutes in length are now averaging about 30 minutes in length, so thank you again if you stick with me through it all. And also I want to thank everybody for their very nice comments on my other videos. I really appreciate those. They inspire me to make more because you tell me that they're helping you, and that's what this is all about as far as I'm concerned. It's the teacher in me. And so what's coming up? Well, I'm looking forward to next Sunday because the art gallery is having a strawberry social to celebrate the official opening of the art gallery 50 years ago. And that should be fun, and hopefully the weather will be nice. Today it's sunny right now. It wasn't when I started this vlog. It was raining. It seems lately the rain is now coming on the weekends. Go figure. Okay. So anyways, that's what's coming up. Looking forward to that, and I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope you have a good week, and we'll talk to you next Monday. Bye bye for now.